these are my observations from the third and final Tears of the Kingdom trailer. If you have spotted something that I haven't, please let us know down in the comments. The complete trailer will be included at the end of my observations for anybody that would like to use timestamps to show us what they mean. Let's start out with the world then, which looks absolutely massive, has several planes. We seem to have gotten our first glimpse at two types of points of interest. The first one seems to be surrounded by 4 glowing beams of light. These appear to be towers. We first see them right at the beginning of the trailer when Link is gliding down to the main field, and we get a better look at them when we see them in the background of the village and in the background of the camp. These seem to be some kind of tower and may well be a replacement to the Sheikah towers that we're used to from Breath of the Wild. The next one then is some kind of strange stone that has green swirls above it. We actually see it 3 times, most notably after we see the towers that are surrounded by the glowing beams of light. But we also get to see one in the desert when Link is running through the desert, and one close to Link and the bird character that we see later on in the trailer. I suspect that these are either some kind of fast travel beacons or potentially linked to the debris that we see falling from the castle, which we see pretty much directly after we see the first one of these items. It also seems like we've had it revealed that we are going to have, in fact, 3 planes to go and explore. We're going to have the main field, kind of what we're used to in Breath of the Wild. We're also going to have the Sky Islands, and also it looks like we have had the subterranean area revealed. Looks a little bit like the sand pools that we saw are going to allow us to get underground. We have 2 underground looking areas. We have the minecart scene, which as it pans around to the right, looks like it's going to be absolutely massive, and some kind of underground structure. The game appears to have almost limitless traversal options. I wish I was exaggerating, but it just seems like it's all over the place. This is why I rolled the sinking sand dunes into this, because this is the part of the video where they appeared. We have things like color-coded bubbles. We have the horse, obviously. We're able to attach rockets to ourselves to gain height, as well as sky ships and our very own stone-shaped Gundam. Very light touch on some story elements then, mostly because I'm terrible at connecting the dots when it comes to Zelda games. But either way, we appear to have had our first sightings of what the Tears of the Kingdom is going to look like. Zelda appears to be holding one for us. There seems to be some significance with the headdress and the earrings that she's wearing. We seem to have a second NPC that looks kind of similar, but I think is distinct from Zelda, so I'm assuming this is going to be 2 separate NPCs, each of which holding one of the tears. And as per usual, when it comes to a Zelda game, we are probably going to be going around and collecting these. Zelda's game world is looking more alive than ever, with the mushroom village looking really well populated. Also seems to be showing off the fact that we are going to be getting new settlements, which is really, really nice. In addition to that, we seem to be getting overworld battles between the denizens of Hyrule and the monsters that they are inhabiting it with. Now let's move on to the idea that we may be getting companions in Tears of the Kingdom. This has me like the most excited because it looks like we're going to get to interact with a lot of NPCs in a lot of ways. First up, it seems like we have at least 3 main companions. There may well be more, and we've only seen these 3. We have the bird person that we see flying along with us in the air. In addition to that, we have the Garuda lady doing the lightning dance, so maybe they're all going to have their own elements to go along with that as well, which is quite cool. And then what looks like to be Sidon, Mipha's brother from Breath of the Wild, who clearly is fighting independently of Link, which is really, really cool. Really means that these are probably going to be helping us out as we make our way around Hyrule. Now for some major speculation on my part, in that it looks like we may be able to build our own camp. The campsite that we see looks like it has some buildable plots on it, and this is solidified in my opinion by the fact that we are going to be able to transport villagers around, and that we see the group of villagers around Link when it looks like he's about to go into battle or something. This makes it feel like we're going to have our own NPCs or our own little ecosystem or village or something like this. We did in fact build our own village in Breath of the Wild, so maybe they'll have built upon that mechanic and give us something really exciting in this game. Horses are also looking more customizable. We see the horse in what looks like 3 states during the trailer. We have kind of like an explorative state, or maybe an early state where the horse only has its saddle and some packs on. Maybe this is going to help with things like inventory space. In addition to this though, we also see the horse with a stripped down mode when it's pulling the cart. This may just be aesthetic, but it does look like it has less pouches on it whilst it's pulling the cart. In addition, we also see horse armor. Hopefully this doesn't get sold separately, lol. But this makes me feel like maybe things are going to attack the horses more, or maybe it's going to be used in battle a little bit more. I'm going to assume it has some kind of stats. Maybe it will even react to the weather, much like Link does as well. So we'll have to see how that pans out. We've got an extremely brief look at the combat, which I would have assumed will be largely the same, but it did look a little bit quicker, with Link getting a pretty good dodge when he avoids getting hit by a flaming construct, which is wrapped in chains. Had to zoom in and slow that down to get a really good look at that. In addition, obviously, we see Link rewinding time against the spitting mushroom, which is quite interesting. And we see a few other new enemies, such as the bokoblin with the bright looking bottles on its back. I'm sure everybody's going to try try blowing those up. We get a quick look at the flash beam burning up a load of sand sharks. I'm sure that's going to be interesting, as well as Ganon showing us that we have the return of the Lynels. And that is pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about when it comes to the trailer. There's plenty to notice there. I don't know how I feel about some of it, like all the different enemies and stuff like this. We'll see how they go. Like the return of the Lynel, is that just going to be the same fight? Are they going to have new movesets? We don't really know. Obviously, the full trailer is going to follow up now. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you all again soon.
Zelda, we rely on your knight, and that legendary sword he carries. Our last line of defense will be Link.
Link. I know why I am here. It's something only I can do.
Do not look away. You witness a king's revival and the birth of his new world.
Okay, let's go!
But you are not alone. Link. You are our final hope. Link. You must find me.